Hi guys, this is Sai Kumar Kortuwada. In this video, we will learn about object entries method and what is the purpose of using it. To know more about all the different type of objects methods, please watch my previous videos for better understanding. Let me quickly jump into Visual Studio Code. Here, I have created index.js and index.html. My index.js has been linked up with my index.html by using a script tag. Now, let me go into index.js. Let me create an object obj is equal to some age colon 20 and name colon Sai Kumar. So this is my object, and let me zoom it, and here I have created the object and I have a scenario where I want to convert this particular object into something like an array. Inside the array I want the key, that is age comma 20 value comma one more array with the name comma Sai Kumar. So I want to have a format simply to say I want to have a key and a value inside an array, and all this set of arrays should be inside one array. So this is nothing but a nested array format. To achieve this, we can do in two ways. One is by using a for loop. How can I use a for loop on an object? Before going to that, let me extract the object keys and values. Const keys equal to, I want to get the keys of that. So object dot keys is a method where you can get the keys of a particular object, and we have discussed in the previous video. I'll provide the link in the description. And also let me bring values. If you want to get the values, you can get, otherwise we can use object of key and we can get the value for that. So let me use object dot values of obj. So this will return you the values and the keys, and always it will returns an array of keys and array of values. Let me console.log of keys and console.log of values. Now let me save this and go back, clear it off. Let me zoom a bit, and now let me reload. So if you see here, we got keys and we got the values. Now I don't want this format. I want a key with value in one array, a key with another value in one array, and all both of that array should be inside one more array. So now in this case, already keys is an array, so I can use a for loop for let I equal to 0, I less than keys dot length. Already we know that if we have a single key, we will have a single value. That means number of keys will always be equal to number of values. Then only our object can be considered as a valid object. So let me use this I equal to 0, I less than keys dot length and the values dot length. Anything would be fine. Whereas I plus plus. Now what I want to do is I want to create an array. Const result is equal to empty array. So this will be the parent array, and now I want to frame the arrays. So now const each key value is equal to, I'm framing an array with the keys of I, and at the same time we can pass value of I. So I'm using a values array as well, because the keys and the values array would be same. Now let me push this each key value inside my results, because already I have framed my array and now I want to push into an parent array. So now result dot push, there is a method called as push in an array. We'll discuss about the push, pop, and the different types of arrays and its methods in the upcoming videos. For now, remember, a push is something which will insert the value inside an array at the last position. So after this loop, let me console the result. Console.log of result, comma, result. So now let me save this, go back, clear it off, and reload. If you see here, we got first array. Inside this array, we have two arrays. One is key and the value, key and the value. So this is how we achieved this. But the disadvantage of this is we are writing whole code and we are doing lot of operations like converting the keys, converting the values, and then appending and pushing some xyz variables into a particular array, and result will be appeared. But instead of using all this stuff, we can simply make our code in a single line. So that is where the object dot entries will comes in. So let me write console.log of object Object.entries, there is a method called as entries and it will accept an object. So what is my object? Obj. So here it will receive this obj and it will convert the format in this way, like key and the value, key and the value. JavaScript is providing us a method where all this isolated logic will be working under these entries and will provide us a proper output. Let me go back, clear it off and reload. Now we got the same output, but this time we are not using any for loop, just we are using one single line of statement called as object.entries. So let me remove all this code and now we got to know object.entries, how it works. Now there are some different cases where object.entries will give a result in a different format. For example, let me create a var obj2 is equal to object.create. I'm creating another object with our existing obj object by using a create method. As we discussed about the create method will add the properties, that means existing properties, into prototyped properties. For example, let me print console.log of obj2 and let me add one property obj2.address is equal to Hyderabad. So I have added Hyderabad as a property, own property of obj2, and remaining all are the prototyped properties. Why? Because we are using a create method. Let me go back, clear it off and reload. If you see here, we got address as the obj2 value, whereas the prototype contains age and the name. So why these prototype properties came in? Because we are creating the obj2 with the existing obj object by using a create method. That is the reason the obj properties came inside the prototype. If we are performing entries for this obj2, for example, instead of obj I'm using obj2 entries. So if I am using obj2 entries, what is our assumption? Age with 20, one array; name with Sai Kumar, one array; address with Hyderabad is one more array. So our parent array should contain three arrays inside it whenever we are using entries, but in this case it is different. Let me reload. And if you see here, we got only address and Hyderabad, but not the age and the name. Why? Because age and the name are prototyped values. So whenever you are having a prototyped values, object dot entries will never be considering that prototyped values. It will only focus on the own properties of that particular object. So this is the one which we need to remember whenever we are using object.entries. Hope you like my explanation. If you like my video, like, share, subscribe to my channel for more updates. Signing off. Thank you.